Welcome, library friends. You're joining us today for our Upcycle crafting program. This program is age for teens and tweens, but it can be modified for younger children as well as more advanced techniques can be modified for adults. So let's get started. So today what we're going to be making are bracelets made from magazines. Your home magazines at home, you have all these extra magazines at home. Now when you're picking your pages for your actual, you're going to be making little magazine beads. So when you're picking your pages, you might want to make sure that you pick pages that are colorful. That way you get that color that comes out in your beads, instead of picking a magazine that might be black and white, unless that's the color you want, black and white. But when you want to go with like pages that have more color in them. So today we're going to start with actually cutting your strips. Your strips should be in a half an inch to 1 inch, depending upon how long you're going to want your beads. So, and you're going to cut them at a triangle. So, and they're going to come to a point. And you're going to cut a few of them so that way you have enough to work with. As I have a couple that are here on the side. So when you're using beads, the intention is to try to use things that you have at home. So a lot of times you get bracelets that you don't really use. A lot of these stretch bracelets were really popular at one time. So I mean, what I do is I recycle them and I use them for different jewelry projects. And these are really easy because, you know, you already have the beads here, and a lot of times you go check ask mom or auntie or other family members if they have any of these, and all you do is you just take them apart, and then you can end up with all these extra little beads that you can work with, and you're kind of recycling them because you're not really using those bracelets anymore. So those are just extra findings that we have, and we're going to be using a Q-tip, and let's see, and we're using skewers, which are just the skewers that they use for barbecuing. If you don't have these, you can also use toothpicks. The only thing is toothpicks are a little bit smaller, so it might be a little bit more difficult to get whatever kind of string or wire that you want to use, which you can use any kind of wire or any kind of string. If you do end up using like yarn, you have to make sure that you use tape on the end of it, so that way it's easier to get through these beads. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and start, and I'm going to take a skewer, and what you're going to do is you're going to kind of like go back and forth just to start it, and you don't want to put glue on this because you want it to be able to move freely through, so that way it's not getting stuck to there. So we start with that, and then we're going to get it roll real tight to get it going. Okay, so as we go, we're going to add a little bit of glue. I'm gonna move this aside for a minute, and we're just gonna roll it. And you just keep rolling, and you wanna make sure it's nice and tight when you're rolling it, because if it's too loose, then you're gonna get a funky little bead. And there you go again. You just put a little bit of glue. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Keep going. So at the end, you want to make sure that you get enough glue at the end because you want it to stay down. So here we go. And I kind of take it around a little bit until it stays down. Hold it down. All right. So as you can see, we created a bead, and it's easy to pull off. See, that's why we didn't do the glue on the original, because now we have a nice bead here. So today what we're going to do, I have a few of these already on one of my sticks that I did. So I'm going to take these off. Of course, this one's going to be troublesome. There we go. Finally, move that aside. And I have a few little beads here. Let's see, I have a few here too. But like I said, you can use any kind of beads. I have a few beads in here. And I have some more of these that I made earlier. So you can do different sizes. I did some smaller, some bigger. So you can work with whatever size you like. And we're gonna take this is hemp cord, and it's waxed, so it's easier to work with. And I put a little bit of a knot at the end because I don't want it to be moving all the way through. So I'm going to put this knot there. And then kind of think of your pattern that you want to use. So I'm going to go ahead and start with a bead, and I'm going to do, I think I'm going to use these colored beads. And I'm going to take these, put these through, and take another colored bead. I already did that color. Just keep stringing them through. So this is just to figure out a little pattern. That's why I like to, use a plate, because I can kind of like put them on a plate and then kind of put the pattern out and see how it looks. So this is the start of this one, and this is one that I had already completed. And I just did a knot on one end, and then I did the beads, and then I put a bead in between them, in between these, but they're great gifts, you can. And so now we're going to kind of go a little bit of an advanced mode, and I'm just going to show you what else you can do with these beads. So I showed you how to do a bracelet. Now you can purchase these. These are findings that you can get at anywhere, Walmart or Michael's, any store, Amazon, you can order them. They're really inexpensive, and these are earrings. These are called fish hook earrings, and these are fish hook pins. I like the ones with the little fish hook on the end of them as opposed to the ones that are flat, because sometimes depending upon your bead, they'll come all the way through. So we are going to figure out a pattern that we want to work with. So let's get a pattern together. So I'm going to take a couple of these that are kind of matching. And then we're going to add in maybe we'll add a flower to the bottom, and we can do a bead at the top. So it is very, very easy. We do this, we put this through, and the little finding on the top, and hopefully this fits because it's a little bit long. All right, see, that was easy. All you take is these are jewelry pliers. You're going to bend it down at the end, and then gradually you're going to turn it until you get your hook here. And before you close it, you add your earring. We can get this earring here. And you're going to put this all the way in till you get your earring done. So here you go. This is one we made today, but you can use different kinds of earrings. I mean, you can use different kinds of beads. This one I used with, you can be creative with them. Very simple, great gifts. It's a great project to do right now while you're off. You can even do a family project and do it with your mom or your auntie or your family on Zoom. It's a fun project to do. And I want to thank everyone for coming to our Upcycle program, and check us out for other activities on our social media outlets, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. From our library to your home, we bring you these great programs. See you later. Miss Darlene.